大家好，这是熊老师. This is a video that will explain how to use Skritter, the advanced features of Skritter, the changes this year that Skritter has made to its app, and the requirements for Skritter homework. This video is going to be a little long because Skritter, while a very powerful and useful tool for learning Chinese, is also a little complex, and there are some sort of breaking changes this year. I'm going to talk about the really simple stuff first in the first couple minutes of the video, so you should watch that section if you're not familiar with Skritter. And then I'll go into more complex features, and you can kind of skip around and pick and choose what you're interested in watching. You can also come back to this video in the future. This will always be here. I'm also going to talk about the desktop app versus the mobile app, the website versus the phone app, and they're very different. So if you are interested in learning just about the mobile app, skip to that section of the video. All right, let's get started. So this is the Skritter dashboard, right? This is Xiong Lao's account here. Okay. Now the most important thing to pay attention to on the desktop app is this sort of card right here, right? This is going to tell you how many items you have to review today, right? How many words are due. Xiong Lao obviously has a lot because Xiong Lao has not really been doing Skritter over the summer. Hopefully you have a number that's smaller than this, and you should try to get this down to 0 every day. That's one of the requirements for your Skritter homework. Get your due items to 0. This is very important because those are the items you need to review and practice that day. There's also this thing. There's a goal. All right. If you don't have a goal, you can set it. You can go here. You can go to your account page. You go to study. You kind of scroll down, and you can set a goal target. Okay. Your goal should be 5 minutes per day of review. You should be doing Skritter more than this, but because of the changes in Skritter, I'm only going to be counting for your homework 5 minutes review a day. You should be doing more, and I'll be giving you class time to do more, but the target is 5 minutes. You press save, you go back, and you see, okay, so you've done 1 minute out of 5 minutes. That's how much time you've done. You also press study here,
茶壶
and then here are the words, and you can see how many items you have due left and your time, right? If you go to stats here, you can also see your time. So Xiong Lao reviewed 8 minutes and also studied for 1 minute today. All right, so you want to get this to 5 minutes. You can see more stats down here. Now, what am I actually studying in Skritter? Okay, now there are 4 parts
茶
that I'm
壶
trying to study, right? This is writing, right? Cha, whatever, cha, right? Cha, and there are these cool features down here. You can explore
茶
these,
壶
like,
茶
help
壶
you learn how to write,
茶
right?
壶
And so on, right? And then you say, I got it, okay, and you review it, I don't got it, back, I forgot, okay, cha. Okay, there are a lot of cool features like
茶
audio,
壶
information here. You can break down the words. You can get a mnemonic. You can look it up in a dictionary, in different dictionaries. Actually, it's very cool. Oh, look at this. You can actually look it up in a dictionary. You can see more stats. You can star the words. Star the words are you can make a special list to kind of study your starred words. You can ban this word if you don't ever want to study it again for some reason. You can go to settings here to sort of give you study options. Oh, let's talk about this. Okay, so we talked about Skritter flashcards. There are 4 types of flashcards. One is the writing flashcard, as we see right here.
刘子
Let's see if there's anything else. It's all writing.
傻子
Okay, well let's do a little
掰着手指
filtering. So go to settings here, and so there's a writing flashcard, tone flashcard, reading flashcard, and definition flashcard. So let's say I only want to study tones, right? I can filter for that, and I can even filter by list here. Let's say I wanted to study, the Chinese 4 list. Okay, save. All right, so the tone is I need to draw it, right? So like Xing, this is like first tone, like that, right? This is Guan. This is fourth tone, Bing, right? That's tones. So that's how you study tones. You can also study, for example, reading. Let's try that. So you have to type in the pinyin like wu. You can type in the number, like the third is the third tone, so like wu, right? And then
茶壶
oops.
茶壶 茶壶
What happened? Well,
武汉
there was a little bit of a error there. Wu.
茶壶
Huh.
茶壶
Okay, this is a little buggy. Not sure what's going on there. Usually works. I don't want to study tone. I want to study definition. I don't want to study tone. Study definition. And the definition is a traditional flashcard. What's the definition, right? And you just test yourself. Like Wuhan.
武汉
Do you know it or not? Right, I got it. Right. Okay, so that's how the 4 study modes work in the desktop app. I'll go into more advanced features later on in the video. But the last thing you should know is this one called, oh, there's more settings button here if you want to get more settings. But the last and most important thing is something called raw squigs. I recommend everyone turn this on actually. So I'll show it with raw squigs and without raw squigs. So this is with raw squigs turned off.
新冠病毒
In writing, when you start writing strokes, it will automatically kind of fill in the strokes for you, right? So you don't. Xin, right? And so it looks pretty, but it's not necessarily very hard to do because you just have to kind of get the strokes sort of right. If you turn on raw squigs, what happens is
新冠
it
病
will not give
毒
you that crutch. So you can still see the word, and you can still practice it and stuff.
新冠病
But
毒
you have to write it yourself. Sean also did not write this very prettily. And so, and you can kind of see, what you wrote versus the real version. So this is really good writing practice. If you want to practice writing. Again, if you don't want to practice writing, and handwriting is not a requirement, right, for Chinese in the near future. We're not testing handwriting. So if you want to just turn off handwriting, you just turn it off, right? And then you can focus on the other options. Like that. Okay, that is the desktop version of Skritter. We'll come back to this later and talk about more features. All right, guys. Now we're going to introduce the Skritter mobile app, which is my recommended solution to doing Skritter because it has touch for handwriting. Now, a little bit of a change this year is that there are 2 apps. One is the old Skritter app right here with the red background, and the other one is the new Skritter app. The old Skritter app is, if you've used it before, just keep using it. It hasn't changed. But I want to talk about the new Skritter app, which has some additional cool features, but also some things that are not the same. So let's go into the new app. The biggest difference is that the new app has split up learning into 2 different modes. There's a so-called learn mode right here. Let's go to a new list. Let's say there's a learn mode here. Let's see a learn button, right? Which is where you add words to study. And then there's if you go back to the home screen, there's a review mode where you review words that you've already learned and studied. And for the purposes of homework, the 5 minutes of a homework Skritter review, you must be in review mode, right? You can either press do cards here, or you can press continuous. They're the same. I would recommend the continuous option. So just when you open the app, the first thing you should do is just press the continuous button right here. And then, there's some explanations for how this works and, blah, 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 blah. But basically, once you can pick the specific list you want to study from, and you can, choose the different, types that you want to study. And then when you press start review, you'll see on the top side of the screen in the green bar, there's a timer, right? So it says 1 minute, 42 seconds. That's the amount of time Skritter is recording you as reviewing existing cards. This time is the time that I see on my teacher dashboard, and you must get to 5 minutes per day. So this number is the number that you should be looking at. You need to do 5 minutes of review a day. And then, the mobile app is the same as the desktop app in terms of the functionality, right? You can do the same things. It's got the same, settings and information and blah, blah, blah. But just keep track of that number. That needs to be 5 minutes. You can also see it. If you exit, you can see it down here. At the bottom of the screen, there are 4 buttons. There's a button that says progress. You click the progress button, and you're able to see today that you spent 1 minute, 1 minute and 35 seconds. And I think I need to sync that. There's also a sync button here if you press that. And that's the time I see. So that needs to be 5 minutes. However, there's something really important to recognize, is that if I'm reviewing words, I'm not adding words. So the new app will no longer add words as you study. So in order to add words, you need to learn them first, and you need to go to the deck list. You can see your decks here. You can go to the deck button at the bottom, and then find your deck. Find your deck. Let's say Chinese 4 list, and there are 2 button options, right? One is learn, one is test. Test mode, you can explore that yourself. That's sort of like there's a vocab test on Thursday. I want to study some specific words. You can test yourself. Learn is for adding new words. So if I see on the top of the screen, it says 0 out of 1 section complete, 8 out of 20 words study. So I've already studied 8 words. Those words will be in my review. So if I press that continuous review button, I'll study those 8 words. How do I add the other 12 words? I need to press learn.
疫情
So I press learn. This is a learning activity.
疫情
You can kind of just practice. You can look at example sentences, teach me, blah, blah, blah.
疫情
All this stuff.
疫情
Now, what's important to understand is that this learn mode does not count for your homework time. Let me say that again. Unfortunately, and I wrote Skritter an email about this, but unfortunately, learn mode does not track your time, and learn mode will not count for homework credit. So you could spend 1 hour in learn mode, but your progress time will not change. So that's why I reduced the homework from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. So you should still be doing 10, 15 minutes of Skritter, right, per day. But I'm only going to be tracking the 5 minutes you're spending reviewing words. Any extra time you spend learning it and stuff, that's great. You need to add new words, obviously, and learn them, but it won't count as part of your homework time. So just remember, you need to do both 2 things. You need to review words here, which is your homework. You also need to add new words, right, so you can keep learning in the deck list here. And that's a basic introduction to the mobile app. I'll be talking about more advanced features in the next part of the video, both in the desktop app and